Okay, here we are back in Monster Hunter World. And while we're still in low rank, one of the things I've been working on was trying to do some of the event stuff. So I think you can see it on her, is it? Bounties? There we go. So we have to hunt the Anjanath one more time. That's what we're going to do next. Still have to kill 2 more wyverns. I'll probably do a Paulo, whatever the thing is called for that one. And then if I can do all these in time, I get a silver wyvern print. I don't know what that is exactly. And then a silver egg. And then if you do this, you get armor spheres, and you can still get armor sphere pluses for this one. So one thing I wanted to emphasize is if you're taking too much damage, do not be afraid to use armor spheres. They're fairly easy to come by, so you don't have an excuse for not doing it. Like, a lot of people complain about Anjanath being a wall, and the thing is, if you play a little careful, it's not going to be that bad. And what we're going to do is this one. It has a 30-minute time limit. It has 2 gold rewards, so I don't know what exactly that means, but we're going to go out and capture this. So we only get 2 tries at this because this is an investigation, it's not a formal mission. We have to be Hunter rank 4 or higher. And the restriction on this is I can only bring 2 people with me, myself as 1. So, yeah, we're not bothering with that. So, first things first, oh, right. Equipment-wise. So if you want to see what I'm sporting, I have the Shameless Goggles for detection purposes. This just helps you farm stuff. It'll tell you if there's a certain point that will give you more than average. I just made the High Metal Mail for earplugs because I was tired of getting chain stunned by roars. It was really bad when I had the Kodachi or something like that, the electric monster, and a Anjanath in the same area, and they literally roared 3 times back to back, and I couldn't do anything. So yeah, I definitely do miss the earplugs. Then we're packing the defense boost from the Alloy Van Braces, Hunter's Coil, because I don't know why I'm still using this. I don't know, I'll look for other things later. Alloy Greaves, and Defense Charm. So, if you're wondering about the Ghillie Mantle, this is helpful for egg missions. You can swap it out if you want. I mean, like, the best thing when you're playing multiplayer until, like, really late is supposed to be the healing one. So, yeah, that's the state of things. So, we're going to do an investigation. I have the game set to private, so I don't have to worry about people popping in case you're wondering. We'll use a voucher, I guess. So it's accepted, we have to wait for it to load. And while we wait, I am going to go upstairs and eat. So to the canteen. I've unlocked some more ingredients here. Like, I can use the fish platter, but I'm going to stick with the meat platter because it gives me attack M. I don't have any sort of attack boosts, so this is kind of the best thing. The one downside of this, though, is I don't actually get any health, I just get stamina. I could do this one for health and stamina. This one gives me both, but... Anything on the next page? A little bit of both. This is a maybe. So, yeah, I want the attack up. I'm gonna go for the M1. In case you're wondering why this doesn't give as much health or anything, it's because the ingredients aren't fresh or something like that. And then if you want to see the skills real quick, push the button in the middle of the PS4 controller, that'll bring a Feline Rider, because it makes it easier to mount stuff. Defender Low makes it so you take less damage sometimes, and then Provoker makes it so that you draw attention. So this is normally good if you're going to be playing multiplayer, since in my case I'm the Lancer, I get to sit behind my shield, and worst come to worst, and just tank while my team wails on him. So that's an option for me. Keep in mind, you generally don't want Provoker if you're going to be fighting with a ranged weapon. So, standby, depart. And now the thing about these investigations, you only get so many tries at them, so you gotta make the tries count. I'm far enough along to where charms have been unlocked, I just have a little bit of extra defense, nothing too fancy. Mosswine tell you about fungi, Vitalililies, or Vitalilies. Those only appear in one area that I've seen so far. Gadget proficiency, vultures. So I have a spare trap in case I need it. So we'll follow the trail. Kind of tempted to fire off the SOS flare, it's just I don't really trust someone to come in here and not screw up. Not when the game has only been out for a couple days, and there's no guarantee I'll be playing with people who actually have an inkling of what they're doing. Now, the reason why Anjanath is so dangerous is because he can, well, he just hits hard. That's the simple truth of the matter. And a lot of people are just blindsided by the damage. So we'll grab the torch pods. I'm also gonna nab some parashrooms. Do they give me any knives or no? No, so we gotta do this the old-fashioned way. So examine these, and then eventually they'll say, okay, it's over here. And that alone was enough for me to actually find it. So, let's go mark him. He's all the way up there. One thing I don't like about this area is due to the verticality of it, it's painful to navigate frequently. Like, the old Monster Hunter games didn't have this problem, and this, I'd say, is probably just the biggest weakness to World. It's a pain to find stuff. So why are you pointing me that way? Crap, he's on the move. Okay, so course change. There he is. So this is not a good place to fight him. You want a wide open area because he has a flame breath attack that's pretty devastating in narrow corridors like this. So I'm going to follow him a little bit in hopes that he's going to go to a better area. He won't really be aggro until I hit him, so... Or Tobi Kadachi shows up. One of the two. I think my hand is going to be forced here. So he's weak to electric, the Anjanath, in case you're worried. Don't give me that crap. So right there I got them to do a turf war. Not doing too hot. So something broke. And you know what? While they do that, let's sharpen. Since I'm using a different lance, I don't have as much sharpness as I normally do, and the trade-off is I have the thunder element to augment my damage. So if I'm able to actually, like, fight them instead of having to do this whole narrow corridor crap. It's more of a dance than anything, it feels like. Kind of had to eat this because I'm in an awkward spot. Was not anticipating that. I could die here. And this is what I mean by you can get chain locked with just non-stop roaring. So his tail does come off. His tail is also a bit of a weak spot. Okay, I can potentially mount here. So I don't know where Toby took off to, but apparently it has conceded defeat. But anyway, I noticed the thing in the bottom left corner is what clues you in on whether or not you want to hold on to the monster. So by paying attention to that, your mounts are just much safer and easier. So he's going to peace out, let's down a potion and pop a whetstone. There we go. So I'm not sure if I should look for another type of pod. Grabbing the spider webs because those are pretty nice to stockpile since you can turn those into pitfall traps. There was one over here too, but I guess not. The other thing that's a little annoying about this guy is he does have a bit of a jank hitbox when you're between his legs. We broke something off of him. Actually, we did get his tail. So later on we'll look to see where it landed. And while on fire, I do have to be careful. Yeah. That's one of the things that really sucks about him, when he can just chain his stuff like that.
Knowledge is your best weapon and defense. Make sure you've read up on all the monsters in the Monster Field Guide.
Hey, there's Toby. Hold on, there's a scatter nut here, wasn't there? God, Jagger's hide. So once he goes down, I'm going to go to town on his head. Now, one thing I should explain is that your different moves have different multipliers for how much of your attack power they use. As far as I know, the only one-to-one, at least in previous Monster Hunter games, was the Charge Slash from the Greatsword. And you can see by how sluggish he's getting that he is tired. I can't quite tell if he's limping. Overall, I'd say that looks still fairly healthy in terms of walks. Like right here, I do want to fight him because of the paratoads. That's not good. So hitting him here, you'll notice I do a lot less damage. So he's in full rage mode now. There's the town. Was not actually expecting that to paralyze him again. And I can't even hit him here. So I wounded his leg from the look of it. So one reason why I don't want to use a trap right now is because I only have shock traps. As you use traps repeatedly on monsters, it loses its potency. And then certain ones are just flat out immune to traps, and by that I mean Diablos can destroy your shock traps. So just be aware that is a thing. So if I had some sort of capture guru skill from previous games here, I'd know whether or not this is actually close to being able to be captured. And I don't trust vine traps as something that will work to actually capture a monster, so I'm gonna save my tranks. And now it's limping. So I'm going to sharpen just because I need to kill a little bit of time. Since I do have the time to spare on this quest, I can wait for it to get somewhere where it's going to slow down, and then we'll deploy the easy shock trap. I'm going to use this one first because I don't get to keep it. No point in using something from my collection when something that I'm issued on the mission will work just as well. Let's take a moment to stop and smell the flowers. Like this sunbloom. Or this other sunbloom. Or this third sunbloom. Anyway. This is where it sleeps, in case you're wondering. It's some sort of like canopy area. Grab the flash bug. Those are pretty handy when dealing with Ian and Los. Oh, and there's a lychee here, isn't there? Right there. Had to sneeze. And hey, it gave it time for it to pass out. Oh crud, why can't we drop this here? So you do not want to hit his head because it may kill him. I'm actually able to pick that back up.
Now, keep hitting him with trank bombs until the effect kicks in.
And we want to go back to headquarters. No point screwing around here. Now that I think about it, I never did find his tail. You can get a plate from his tail, that's a rare drop. Or a rare carve, I guess. But overall, I don't really like any of his equipment so far, so I'm not really in any rush to actually build it, if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, we get a scale, a pelt, a flame sack, a plate, this is his rare drop, a nose bone, a second plate, a pelt, a scale, armor sphere plus, monster bone, macalite, bone M, bone M, bone L, bone M, a third plate, scale, pelt, nose bone, and then special rewards we get a pelt, a fang, and a fourth plate. So yes, I did get 4 plates in one mission here. So due to the double voucher bonus, I did lose some of it due to fainting, but oh well. Inquisitive Mind unlocked because this is my first investigation. Linean Researcher. Dual Blades, Meal Effect. Sadly, you do lose those when you faint, so I didn't have it for the last part of the fight. Gadget Proficiency, nothing new here. So you get to see another capture, you get to see me bite the dust, and in the end, I have a bunch of plates with very little to do with them. I don't know if they're going to be necessary for the high rank items, I can only hope so, because I got 4 of them in one mission, come on. So they say new ecological research results available, so let's talk to the old geezer. Oh, Toby update. Yeah, I forgot all about me finding him. So Toby... I haven't fought him enough to actually get what his rare drop is, whatever it is. I assume the membrane, but I'm not sure. Physiology, you can see that his tail is his weak spot. You'd be better off hitting his tail than his head, seriously speaking. As for Anjanath, you can see he's weakest to water, apparently, but thunder is the next best thing. And then his weak spot's the head. The tail's the next best one, that's why I was trying to get up in his face and everything. You can see that he resists blast, but he's susceptible to other elements, so there you go. As for the rewards, you can see you can carve a plate out of his tail. You get one for breaking his head, and you can see that the plate should be low frequency in terms of acquiring it, but I did get 4 of them in one mission. Go figure. As for this, I'm cultivating god bugs. I don't know if any are up for grabs at the moment. No, they're not. So, yeah, I don't know if there's really anything else here for me at the moment. So... Oh, okay, so there's my armor spheres. I also get some research points and stuff. So I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to... work on the flying wyverns. I'm going to probably fight the Paolo or whatever it's called, the bat dragon. And I'll do one off camera and then we'll wrap this thing up when I'm actually recording. So that will be the next video. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching.